According with your experience, what are the steps for transforming data in usable information?
So that's a great question. So, how do you, to think about this, how do you really get started and what are the steps to transform the data? So if you think about any company today, right, on one side they have enterprise data. So they have their ERP system, CRM system, HR system. So every company is already a big data company. You already have great amount of data. And then the other idea is, what is the other information that you want to bring together to be able to start looking at things in a new way? So you may think, let's say you're a retailer, then you may say, I already have sales information in my enterprise systems, but I want to bring social media information. I want to bring web logs. So I want to know what people are doing on the web and bring this together. So typically what I tell people is start small. You don't have to do everything at once, but one of the things you need to start looking at is, number one, realize that you already have great information with your enterprise systems. Number two is figure out what is the big data approach you want to take. Most people today, what they're doing is they're going to implement Hadoop. They're going to use some big data technology. And then what you have to look at is, how do we bring these together? So really, I think if I were to summarize, the three steps are: first, look at what information you already have, your enterprise data. Number two, look at what other information you want, whether it's social media, sensor, whatever. Pick a platform. It's probably going to be a big data platform like Hadoop that you're going to use, and then leverage it with your enterprise platform. This is where HANA and Hadoop come together, and you're going to be leveraging technologies like HANA Vora to bring them all together.
How complex is the integration of different systems for data science?
It varies, right? It can become, I think 5 years ago, it used to be very complex because there were no standard connectors, there were no standard data models, there were no standard integration. Over the last 5 years, it has become a lot more easier, right? At SAP, one of the things we looked at is our enterprise platforms, and we said, how do we come up with a very simplified data model? How do we make integration easy? So on the SAP side, we came up with this concept of HANA S4 HANA. Basically is S4 HANA becomes a very, very simplified digital solution to run all your enterprise functions. And its data model is very simplified and extremely extensible. And then on the other side, we developed the HANA Cloud Platform. The HANA Cloud Platform becomes a way of integrating, whether it's integrating to other systems, non-SAP systems, integrating to, let's say, Internet of Things data, sensor data. So these are the tools. There's a lot more connectors, standard connectors available. We're also working with a lot of partners. So one of the things I'm seeing is a lot of openness from partners. And then on the other side, what's really neat right now is if you look at standard data sources about, let's say, government data and things like that. A lot of governments are making this information available in public formats where you can start using this. So it's become a lot easier since over the last few years. And now the tools exist so that you can merge these data sources together a lot easier. That's kind of the whole new, what I call it, the logical or modeling paradigm. It used to be about data warehousing, now it's about big data.
Access to technology is enough fairly? For example, how not pay for an additional specialist responsible for manage it?
So if you think about it, one of the big things that we have right now is the whole notion of the cloud. So if you want to really kind of optimize your IT resources and optimize your costs, my biggest recommendation is start looking at the cloud. Whether it is a cloud with SAP, we also, the other thing is we also have partners like Amazon, like Microsoft that have their own clouds and you can get started. In fact, you can have an analytical compute environment up and running in a matter of hours where you don't need to do any management, where the cloud people are essentially managing your environment for you. So I think cloud is one of the easiest ways to get started. And then the last thing I'll tell you is that if you think about big data and machine learning, use automation. So a lot of people, what they're thinking is, I'm going to hire a lot of data scientists, you don't have to have a data scientist. You can take a business analyst and provide them with powerful predictive analytics solutions or machine learning tools, and they can actually use that in a very automated fashion. In fact, at SAP, we have a solution called SAP Business Objects Predictive Analytics. It's a completely automated machine learning solution that can take an expert business intelligence user and make them a very, very powerful predictive analytical person.